Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Classic Who Zone. We've got the Macra Tower for you this weekend. Yes, I've got it ready to go and all. So, head of the curve a little bit. Got it ready. No problems with the site that I'm using. Yes, it's loading pretty quick, so we shouldn't have any problems today. Hopefully not. So let's bring on our panel because we have couple of guests joining us today. It's the one and only Real Super Doctor. Welcome.
Hey Noel, how are you?
Not too bad. How are you?
Not bad. It's the weather's still kind of cold yet.
Yeah, same here. We had a bit of a storm here yesterday. It's raining again today.
Yeah.
It's not great. Yeah. May is a write off. Let's just say. So yeah. I haven't seen that since my childhood. Like we have had bad Mays before. I think a lot of people are just making a bigger deal because it's been a long time since we had a May as bad as this. So it's a bit weird, all right. Yeah. But let's hope June is better.
Yep. Well, let's get into this episode tonight.
We will indeed. We will indeed. Let's bring on the rest of our guests. It's the one and only. We got a bit of royalty here. It's the one and only Queen Charlotte.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Oh, that's good. That's good. You looking forward to this story?
Yeah, no, I like Pat, and I like scary Pat stories, so I'm looking forward to this.
Well, I'm watching the black and white version. I refuse to watch it in colour. I've also, because I know Daniel is not interested in the new Who right now. If you're interested coming on here, do Classic Who, you're more than welcome. We'll get you the site and all. We'll send you the link so you don't miss it. So if you want to come on, I've already sent you an email just in case. So if you want to come on, you're more than welcome. But let's bring on our next guest. It's the one and only Problem Being.
Hey.
It's not William. You can't do the weird laugh today. Problem.
Oh, okay.
You can't be an imp today.
Well, it's lovely and sunny here in Somerset. It was cold and windy when I went out to the shop, and when I came back, I was sweating.
Nice. My end, you get 3 weather systems in one day. You start sunny, you get rain, and then you get wind. It's like can't decide on one.
That's what the tourists in Britain are told. If you don't like the weather, come back in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So how's everybody doing? We're catching up. We haven't caught up in a while. So how's everybody? How's the farm?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, good.
I've got Daniel addicted to Line of Duty, so I've done my job. I'm quite happy.
So he was telling me, he's been telling me, you've had him hooked because I've been doing FIFA streams and he's been telling me all about it. Mad. And speak of the devil, speak of the bloody devil. Here is the one and only. He's come a long way, as I said, all the way from Scarrow, settled down in Scotland. It's the one and only Scottish Davros.
Legend.
Evening, guys. How are you?
Not too
All
bad.
the better for seeing you, Daniel.
Before we start, do you need that link? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'll get it for you. I'll get it for you now.
I'm watching mine in the Blu-ray. So
right, yeah, I'm actually I'm watching it on my TV, so I don't have it on my computer. So I have to get it for you. So just give us a second, and I will get it for you. It'll only take a couple of seconds. You want it? Do you want it in black or white or color?
Well, I can read the version. I can't stand the color version.
Right, I'm gonna say, Charlotte, because you've shared it before. You can once I click into the episode, I can share the individual link to that episode. Then, can't I?
Yeah, well, if you send him the link, it'll be a link to that website, and he'll just have to then press and find it.
Right. Well, hold on. I'll see if I can do it this way. Actually, find the episode, but press into the episode and actually send them the link to that one, and then
that might make it a bit easier. But at least Macra is near the end anyway.
It is,
a bit
yeah, it's
easier.
right down the bottom, man.
Mm.
And I got confused because they also had the reconstruction there as well, and they have another version as well, and I was like, oh Jesus, which one is it? And then I was like, oh, there it says black and white, that's the one.
That helps.
Where do you know what? This site was great at one stage, and whatever has happened, they've had to put them. I think what's happened is they've put them in again.
Or it could just be, like I said, a way to skirt around potential copyright issues.
I think Blake 7 is on there as well.
It is up to a few episodes, yeah. But you remember then, because when we were doing Blake 7, I was watching on that, but then we had to switch over because, what you call it, not all the episodes are there.
Well, there's still some of that on YouTube because I was looking. I was very surprised because I thought they'd all been taken off.
Yeah, it's got like
now on BritBox.
1, 2, and
There it is.
5 or something, and a few others.
Right,
I thought it would have all been wiped probably.
Yeah,
but I thought, oh, okay.
weirdly.
Give us a second, because what I have to do now is I have to actually mute this, so when I press play, you don't hear it. Daniel, I'm going to send it to you through Twitter, okay, in your messages, okay?
I can probably have to mute myself as well until I get the episode up.
No problem, no problem. Listen, while I'm doing all of this, guys, do you want to, so everybody is not like waiting, do you want to talk briefly about this episode and this story and you know, tell people how you felt about it, and then we'll watch it, and then obviously then you can give you a review. Do you want to let people know what you thought of the story while I get this for Daniel?
No.
No, well, really, I thought the story was kind of mixed, good bits and bad bits. I thought even when I saw the clips of the missing bits, I thought it was kind of riveting, and I thought the changes in the animation, like the Macra, were made bigger and all that, and for the animation and all that, I thought there's just too much contrast between the original and the cartoon version. I just didn't think the cartoon version was kind of the good representation of the missing episode, but it is enjoyable, but it just kind of lacks a lot. You know, it lacks that feel of the 60s episode, and when you said you wanted to go to the black and white episodes to see the black and white version, I can understand that.
Yeah, you want to kind of get that as authentic experience as you can get, really. But yeah, I kind of agree with that to an extent. I think with the animations, you're always going to run into that trouble, aren't you? Especially when the vast majority of the episodes or all of the episodes are not there. You're always going to run into that. But there's sort of vision, I guess. I mean, there's only so much source material that they've got to work from. But I would have liked, I think, for the Macra to look as close to the original props, costumes, or whatever you want to call them, as possible. Even if it, doesn't look as realistic as a crab as they look in this, let's say. But I think for the animation, I mean, just talking for the animation, it's probably one of the better examples.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
Animation.
I like the animation in this. I actually like this story. I think it has a little bit of heart to it as well. I've sent that to you, Daniel. I've actually been able to send you the actual story itself, so it should be easy. It's in your DMs on Twitter. So go and check there. And we'll wait until you're ready and you have it up, so you don't have to worry. But go ahead, Lee. Sorry about that. I just wanted to let him know that he has it anyway.
No, that's pretty much. I mean, the story itself. I mean, I think we watched this quite not all that long ago. I think it's a good story. It's a compelling story. Is it one of Pat's bests? I'd say it's pretty good. I wouldn't say it's one of his best. I mean, it's such a shame that we have such a limited pool to draw on, really. I mean, we're having to judge it on these animated episodes more and more, really, or the telesnaps things, which really it makes you struggle. I mean, thank God we've got all the audio. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's quite. I think that's what always impresses me when I see the animation, even if the quality isn't good. I think the lip sync tends to always be good, considering it is audio from the episode, and it's not an easy thing to animate a mouth.
And I think you can do that automatically nowadays. You can, you can have the sound coming through of someone speaking, and the animation fits the certain vowel and consonant sound.
Yeah.
So it's very clever. It's very clever what they can do nowadays.
I have this. Do you know the way you go through every era of Doctor Who or every Doctor, and you have a soft spot for a story that he does, even though it mightn't be the greatest story, but you just have a soft spot for that story. There's just something about the Macra Tower. I have a soft spot for this story. I'm actually probably gonna rate it higher than most people on this panel by listening to you guys. But for some weird reason, I just have a soft spot for this story. There's a moment in this story where you will see it later on. I'll talk about when it comes up. I don't want to spoil it for people that haven't watched it, just in case they have found the link. It's the first time they're watching it. But there'll be a scene in it that comes up that basically in this story shows me what the Doctor is all about and what is missing from certain eras of this. Sorry, I just got distracted there, but I've sorted it out. There's just I just like this story, but there is
I quite liked it. I think I'm probably going to be in your camp for this one because I like what it's trying to do. I think a lot because considering this is the second Doctor's era and they were still like finding their feet, this is quite an ambitious story, and I think that's what I quite like about it. It's
Don't get me wrong. I would have loved him. Like I never like a lot of people. Would have loved them to get to see how they did the Macra back in the day. I know there is a photo because the last time we did watch this, Lee is actually right. We did this last year. But what you call it? I would have loved them to see how they did the Macra back then. You know how they would have went about in the actual story because the animation obviously. It is completely different. But it would have been great to see how they handled the Macra back in the day, because they were all about their practical effects and their creating all of these villains. So it would have been interesting to see. Was it animatronics? I don't know, man. It fascinates me. But this is I have a soft spot for this story. I really do like this.
Well, I think they had. I think it could have been animatronics, or it could have been just somebody inside it, just kind of manipulating the claws and that. But it was just the basic things they had at the time. They used their creativity and their talent to create these things. I mean, with the eyes being paper plates and that, and the claws, the paper mache and all that. I mean, they had the creative talent to create something like that back in the 60s. Yeah. So I give them credit for that. I mean, see if you look at the likes of the Talons of Wen Chian, and you look at the extras on it, and you can see that how much they go into the explosions and all that, and how they much go into the using big polystyrene blocks and then carving them to make monsters and structures and like that. I mean, it's using your creativity and talent to produce something as good as that.
Right, do me a favour. Just do me a favour, mods. There's someone pretending to be people on this panel. And most of the people on this panel are moderators. So if you don't see a wrench besides certain people on this panel's names, then they're a troll. Listen, that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to get into a big thing. If that's what they want to do, be that childish, let them. But I'm just letting you know that there are a couple of trolls in lately. They've been coming back and trolling me for some weird reason. The little weirdos. I haven't been really on, as you all know. of being doing other stuff, but you know, it doesn't stop them from doing what they do. But back to this story, because we're going to start. Daniel, are you actually ready to go? Just let us know in the private chat there.
He did say, I think he's ready. I think I saw him say ready.
Oh, he is ready. Okay. Right, so will we get this show? I suppose we might as well get this show on the road. That's what we're here for. We're here to enjoy some Doctor Who, you know. So let's do that. So hold on, just make sure I put my earphones in now, and then we'll get Charlotte to do the countdown. Okay, I'm ready. Is everybody on the panel ready? And is everybody in the chat ready? Please press 1. You know the drill. If you are ready, please press 1.
And we'll probably see it on a tiny bit of a delay, so
yeah, there will be a tiny bit of it, and then they'll all just pop up. Right, I've got a couple of ones because I'm actually watching on my phone as well. Because
right, I can see them. So ready?
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Whoa.
I like the way this episode starts with the TARDIS. Have to be
oh yeah, this is added, isn't it? 'Cause in the original story they didn't have this.
Like
it's a nice little setup for the Macra that you just see a bit of the claw.
By the way, don't forget to like everybody, like the stream. No, yours says
I think the TARDIS in space, the police box in space with light flashing, I mean, it's well done. I mean, it looks superior to any previous animations.
Yeah, it's a beautifully done piece.
And I really liked the how fluid they are, the animation for the people, because sometimes in other ones we've seen they all look a bit Lego. Do you like Lego blocks? Like they walk, but it's very stiff. Whereas in this one, it's quite fluid when like they have the Doctor talking with his arms or doing anything that requires motion.
Yeah, it looks more better in black and white. I have to agree.
Look, I love the animation sequence there, man. It's second deadly.
Yeah.
It is better in black and white. Listen, look, I'm kind of. I was always opposed to putting Pat Troughton's era in colour anyway. But if fans want it in colour, I suppose, like, you know, let them have what they want. But I watch this in black and white. And
unfortunately for me, I don't have a choice because BritBox only has the colour version, which is just ridiculous.
Don't get me wrong, the colour version is nice. It's not, the colours are great.
Yeah, but I want to watch it as it's supposed to be.
Exactly. It's the Troughton era is black and white, so yeah, kind of
or at least have the option.
For continuity, for me personally, it has to be, and I love the music in this, by the way.
The Macra theme, yeah, I love that.
It's very much like Big Brother 1984 and that, and it is very much like a kind of dictatorship, a kind of it is political, this episode. There's no denying it. There is something there.
Well, yeah, because obviously, if any gamers, this made me think of Fallout New Vegas, because you basically have, I've got a feeling they were probably fans who did that game, because one of the main characters is Mr. House, and it's literally a face, really not that different to the one in this one. So that made me think of that. And he's the same idea of he rules a city as like this person without being a person almost.
And it keeps all the people that's in this colony all trapped and all mind controlled and brainwashed. And
well, it's very Brave New World, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very like that, and it's very likely.
It's got that fake.
Jill says the Macra Terror 4 story to feature Doctor's face in the beginning of credits.
Oh, is that when they started doing it? Okay, I didn't know that.
Try again.
Well, yeah, also, you've got that sort of creepiness, and this is where maybe for some it wouldn't be creepy, but for me it is creepy with the false positivity.
Yeah.
Like the reinforcement of we love work, everything's brilliant and everything's good, and it's like when it's sort of done in that fashion, it's always creeps me out in any stories.
I mean, that's what highlighted in Doctor Who about the kind of oppressed, and the Doctor coming to kind of free the ones that are oppressed and overthrow the oppressors. I think that's basically what the Doctor is and what he stands for. I mean, he basically stands for freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and disrupting the system. That's
Yeah.
Well, he comes from an overbearing, authoritarian system of his own. The Time Lords are very austere. So, he understands more than anyone. Really.
Yeah. Well, that's basically why he ran away from them.
Mm-hmm.
It's because how bad it was.
Yeah, someone's just talking about the reconstruction version. Yeah, I mean, I watched the reconstruction. I don't mind the reconstructions, I mean, like they're well put together. The people that did them, you could show that they love of Doctor Who, and they're able to put them together. But look, in a way, you know where I kind of stand with the animations and stuff like that. If you don't have the real footage, you don't really, I don't really think you should be doing them because, but now that they're here, my attitude kind of changed a little bit because you get to see these, as I said, like if I never seen the animated version of this, I probably wouldn't have a soft spot for it, because the reconstruction, while put together well, it's very jarring, you can't.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
And I like Troughton in this. His Doctor is good in this.
I think all the companions are good in this because it gives them something to kind of do and challenge what's going on around them. I mean, they've got something to play at their part in.
Yeah, which is impressive considering they spent a lot of time separate from the Doctor in this story.
We're watching the Macra Tower. Someone just asked in the chat what we're watching. We're watching the Macra Tower. We'll be doing some of the animations because, they're there and they're part of Doctor Who, so we might as well. Yeah, Daniel's muted because he's watching the episode. He'll unmute himself after each part when we take a little short break in between. He doesn't want the sound to come through, so that's why he's not really saying anything. Just to let you know, someone just mentioned it there. Sometimes when I watch it on the computer, I mute myself as well because the sound can come through, And YouTube is very sensitive nowadays, isn't it, guys? I mean,
yeah.
There's people getting silly copyright strikes and claims for little or nothing nowadays, so we have to be very careful.
It's keywords that they're going after. I mean, I created a BitChute account and they went after one of my videos because there was obviously a kind of keyword on it they didn't like, so they just blocked my account. So it's happening everywhere.
The music in this channel is deadly, isn't it?
Oh God, it's. I love the Macra theme. That's what I dubbed it in my head.
But before we came on, I don't know why I do it to myself, but I woke up in a strange kind of humor today. I put on YouTube and then I start watching clips, like the clip out of an adventure in space and time, where where the Fourth Doctor sees Matt's Doctor. Then I watched the 50th anniversary clip with the Matt Smith's Doctor and Tom Baker. I don't know why I do it to myself, and I got upset. I just woke up in a weird humor, and Cheryl even said, because she noticed there was something wrong, and I said there's nothing wrong, but she was even like, "What's wrong with you?" And I just brushed it off. But I was listening to a lot of Murray Gold's music as well today, and it just sickens me.
Oh no, I do that because before I like videos when people put multiple Doctor moments and put it to music.
Yeah.
And meanwhile,
and there's a channel that's
Akinola
really good at it.
Won a ASCAP award for the music for Doctor Who. I was like, really? Okay.
I love Pat's faces. Like, that's another thing that will always impress me with the animation, because I think you need to get that right if you do any second Doctor. And whenever they do a very, very good version of one of his sort of pulling faces.
What BBC needs to do, though, is stop outsourcing the animation, man.
Oh, God, yeah.
Right? Because it's not working, right? I mean, Fury from the Deep is not a great story. It's not, right? It's still not a great story even if the animation was perfect. But because the animation is so jarring in that, I think it makes it even worse. To be
I couldn't get through it. I just couldn't watch it. It was just unwatchable for me.
You know,
I couldn't enjoy it.
Animation that I've watched, Lee, that I've had to take a break from watching each part for a couple of days because I can't get through it. It's just so it's so mundane anyway. But the animation does not help whatsoever.
Well, it's the penny pinching, that it's so obvious, and it suffers. It does suffer from that,
Which is
it was better when Cosgrove were doing it.
But then you'll have people that'll say, "Well, you should be happy with what you got." But here's the thing, right? These are classic stories, right? Some of them are loved by fans. You've got to treat them with respect. You've got to put the best into them.
No reverence. There's no reverence for it. They can pick it up all they like, but it's constant gaslighting that we're getting from the BBC, and it's getting really, really tedious now.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, no, we know what it deserves. We know what it's worth, and it's worth more than that. I'm sorry.
No, but the other thing that's crazy about like you said, the penny pinching is it seems to be the amount of hype I always see when animations are announced.
Yeah.
You see so much hype whenever they announce them.
Exactly.
So it's like, you're making good money. You're going to get, but it's not that you're making good money. You know that if you spend the money, you're going to get it back and more some.
Well, here's the thing. Some of the fan animation going back 10, 15 years ago, even longer, when animation was in its infancy, right? Fans have done some of the stories and they've animated them. And they're absolutely brilliant. They put BBC to shame. This is why I've said it recently. BBC are coming after people now that do the fanfic and all of this. Right, it's a deliberate attempt to sabotage us because basically the fans
shows them
producing better stuff than what the BBC are when it comes to Doctor Who, and they don't like to see it, and it's a shame. I mean, look, they need to start respect. Look, there's supposed to be a couple of other animated stories now, isn't it? Galaxy, what's it? Galaxy 10, what's called? Yeah.
That's the Yeti one. Is that
Daniel's asking for a timestamp, by the way.
Oh,
damn. Yeah, I'm using a different website today, so it's gonna be
Right. 13 minutes and 10 seconds. 13 minutes, 10 seconds. 13 minutes, 13 seconds. So just put it on 13:30. By the time then you'll catch up with us. But yeah, I mean, look, I just don't get it, like, because when there is an animation release, no matter what the story is, fans are going to
go ballistic.
They're still going to buy it, right? So treat it with just give them the best that they can, and then look, if fans won't mind you charging them the little bit extra. I think the BBC don't realise that when it comes to the animated stories, fans do not mind paying that little bit extra. because it's stories that they really want. So
yeah, and also it's not the casual fans that buy the animations.
I know
It's the hardcore fans.
fans. Exactly.
So
Yeah,
they're the ones who are gonna say, "Well, I'm gonna pay you. I'm gonna be willing to pay this much if I know it's worth it," because
exactly.
they've got a bigger investment. Let's be honest, than casual fans.
I mean, when Power of the Daleks came out, I mean, I bought it straight away,
Yeah.
thinking it was just going to be something that was going to fill in that gap.
Yeah.
But
How many times have they re-released that though with newer animation and all and stuff? Like again, it's BBC all over. If they got it right the first time round, right, with the animation and everything, then they wouldn't have to keep doing this. They need to stop outsourcing. Look, if some of these fans out there are brilliant, instead of going after them, why not hire them? Yes, fools. Like they don't know.
Or just get some people from Big Finish who do animation. Like their trailers are now becoming so good.
Oh, Jesus.
The Christopher Eccleston trailer for his box set.
Eccleston trailer, I agree with you, man. I got goosebumps.
I was like, because Daniel will probably tell you when he's not muted. I was like, you actually, because I've said it on stream. I was really nervous about those box sets.
Yeah.
I watched that trailer. I'm probably going to get those box sets now.
Yeah, I've heard good things.
And that's how good the trailer was.
Yeah. But something's really changed since in the BBC since the Capaldi era. I mean, before they started the Capaldi era, I mean, there was this man that designed the title sequence for the 12th Doctor and that, and the BBC went onto it, and the BBC wanted it.
That's
I think,
right.
Stephen Moffat was on
his
it as well.
original title sequence. It was a fan, you're right.
Yeah.
And he put it up, and then the BBC actually said, "Oh yeah, we like that," because they couldn't. Because if I'm correct in saying, I don't know if this is true, but isn't there some sort of dispute now with them using the time vortex or something, and that's why they used.
I've not heard that.
Because that's why I think Peter Capaldi's didn't use the time vortex and they used the clocks. I think there's some sort of dispute there now. But yeah, that was a fan, and he's done a couple of others as well.
Yeah, no, they want to clamp down on fan art and fan produced stuff, which is ridiculous considering they use the fan title sequence. I mean,
have no problem with sharing their art either, though. But yeah, they don't want them to do it. They're hypocritical. They are.
Mm-hmm.
They're hypocritical.
Yeah.
Without fans, they're nothing, and without the public buying into their programs, they've got nothing. I just don't get the BBC anyway.
Yeah, and another thing I don't get to do with going cheap on the Second Doctor animations is I've always had a theory that they're going to do a Blu-ray of the Second Doctor and do proper episodes and the animations. That's why we're getting so many Second Doctor animations over First Doctor, because their end game, end plan, is to do one of those lovely Blu-ray boxes for the second. So I'm like, why go cheap? Because if you put some of these on Blu-ray next to some others, it's going to look really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's what plans with the Blu-rays. I mean, the season 19 Blu-ray was the only Blu-ray I bought, and I think it's quite impressive. I mean, it's not visually impressive because see if you can sharpen the image. I mean, you can see the contrast because of the kind of snowiness in the pictures because of the cameras at the time. But I just don't know why they didn't fix the picture of the episodes, like kind of cleaned them and sharpened them and made them look kind of good.
Have you seen the? We haven't heard anything about the Web of Fear animation anymore, have we?
Yeah, because they probably saw the reaction to that one
It was
clip.
so bad. It was so bad. It's
Yeah.
like, how on earth did that get past anybody to be put out in the first place?
Like I said,
It's
that's probably a
embarrassing.
happy problem. They probably saw the reaction was like, oh, maybe we should get another person to go through the animation for this.
Well,
I mean, what level of disconnect do you have to think, oh, that's passable? I mean, really? Embarrassing.
But this is the thing. They just think that fans will buy any old shite because it's Classic Who as well. That's not the case. Listen, yes, fans will be dying to get their hands on this stuff. But in the last couple of releases, we have seen now that fans are not happy. They're not happy. They're paying all of this money and they're getting this cheap ass animation. Very bad, very jarring on the screen, right? They need to cop onto themselves. As I said, fans won't mind paying that little bit extra money, and then you use that little bit extra money to pay a decent company to start doing these animations the way they should be done properly. I mean,
Like this one.
Look at the shows. Even South Park's animation, right, is better than this.
Yeah.
Seriously, South Park's updated animation is better than this. Even Rick and Morty's animation is better than this.
Yeah, but see, since this animation's all done in computer, I mean, this is just like what could I say? It's like a cheap. It reminds me of a cheap computer program like Anime Studio 8 or Anime Studio 10. It's kind of software you can get and you can make your own animations. I got it a couple of years ago, and but I've realized it's kind of like the same kind of things. You have the hair sets, the eye sets, and all that, and you can put it all together. You can do your own character and all that, and have it animated, and that's just basically what this is. I mean, they've drawn all that, and they can make up the scenes by just adding it.
Anyone with an Adobe suite could do that, you know.
Yeah.
I bet there's fans out there who could probably do.
Well, you do a better job, Lee. For God's sake. That's how bad they are. The people.
Oh, thanks.
That's sort of a compliment, Lee.
You know what I mean? Come
Even
on.
Lee could do that. That's how bad it is.
No, you know what I mean? I mean, you put trailers together for me.
Yeah, just stop digging.
That's what I meant. I didn't mean it in any technical way.
But the thing is, I mean, if you look at the animation for the Scream of the Schalke, I mean, that was what, early 2000s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look. If you compare that to Fury from the Deep, it still looks better. And wow, how?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was
20
made
years
in
old.
2003.
Yeah.
Do you know what I think it is though?
And it
I've
was
seen-
for a Flash animation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've seen like clips of Fury, and it's how thick the lines are, like outlines of the characters. I think that just makes you think cartoon when you see it. Whereas, like for example, in this one, you hardly notice the outlines of any character. It's sort of just quite subtle and nicely blended in.
Animation is so bad that even fucking Scooby Doo, Monster Inc.'s fucking animation.
Yeah, but that's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of the sort of late 70s or late 60s, early 70s, late 60s Hanna-Barbera cartoons. You know, it really does.
Yeah.
Yeah, the same corridor just again and again and again.
Don't even mind though. In India, they got some of the best animators in the fucking world, like though. That's what I can't understand. They actually do have some of the best animators. India and China have some of the best animators in the world. But yeah, you see the stuff they're producing for Doctor Who. I just don't get it. It's like I don't know why BBC want to do it on the cheap anyway. For God's sake, stop throwing bleeding Chris Chibnall all that money for his train wreck and actually reinvest some of the money into, you know, making proper fucking animations that hold up. You know, that when we watch them from 20 years from now, we could say, oh yeah, that still holds up today.
Yeah.
That's the way we should be thinking. And some
But
of that,
as you look at the likes He-Man and all that, you know how they in the real Ghostbusters and all that, and how they had to do animation sheet by sheet, and that they physically draw them and all that, and physically draw all the movements and all that, each by frame, and color
that's
it
the way
by
it should be
and
done.
you
But
know
that's the way it should be done. But they don't
yeah
do it that way. As you said now, this is like it's all done on computer.
yeah. That's,
You're not getting the feel. But this is the whole thing. You want the artist to draw these characters because when they're drawing, they're feeling what they're doing, you know, and then they can get it. I just don't think they should be using computers for this sort of stuff. You should be going. You should use this. You should be using the tried and tested method that has been used ever since they've done animation. It's as simple as that. I know you've got new technology and you want to kind of, take advantage of that, but you should never take away from actually drawing on paper, like they do with South Park. They show you at the start of that sequence how they put it all together. We've seen how they put animation together, and that's the way it should be done that way. But they don't.
Yeah,
They want to do
even
everything
the
on the computer.
Simpsons. Yeah, agree.
Do it on computer, it's cheaper. Whereas you pay an artist to do, scene by scene, it's gonna cost money. But they don't want to. And BBC Studios, like they make a ton shit of money. Like that's what's popped up on the screen. BBC Studios are responsible, so they have loads of money. Trust me, right? BBC Studios are not well. They have lost a few million, but overall, that's a money making machine. Just stop giving Chris Chibnall all that fucking money. Simple as that, right? Reinvest it into the classic era, and even fix some of the effects in some of the old episodes. Why not go full hog on the whole thing and
Well, you never
update?
know. The way it's going right now, people only seem to be caring about classics, so they might have to.
I think it's time that the classic era got jazzed up a little bit,
Yeah.
And I know they've done it with certain stories, but go full hog now. You've got the technology now. You can clear up some of the screen defects and all now today. So, Classic Who, Charlie, you're right. There seems to be more of an interest now lately in Classic Who. Even fans from the other side have been even doing stories and talking about Classic Who stories, which I find I kind of find ironic because they've tried for the last 2.5, 3 years to kind of destroy it, but now all of a sudden with all the nastiness that's going on, they're all going back to the classic era. They're hypocrites, but there you go. Right, are we ready for part 2?
Yes.
I'm ready.
Daniel, would you like, because you've been muted, would you like to say something about what you've just watched so far?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a very good and interesting, a very good and interesting story. Well, is the animation because I was on the channel last time and you actually had it on the last time, and again, the animation is absolutely fantastic. I mean, in comparison to the rest, the animation is the best sort of quality. The other animations seem a bit like being a bit quality. This is the best animation.
Brilliant. Right. Sorry, Cheryl and the dog. Ted is getting very
animated.
Ted's getting back to his normal self again. By the way, he's actually running around now, and he's not supposed to be running around. And as we suspected, one leg is kind of 100%, and the other leg, what would you say, about 80%?
Yeah, they're probably both
Yeah. So he's in absolutely no pain anymore. He took a nip. He took a nip at his daddy, so he's back to his normal self. Um, what? No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The good news is that Ted is uh well, I won't say fully recovered, but he's gotten over the worst of the situation now. So I should be going back to a normal schedule next week now. So I'll be back to normal. And for all those people that were missing the Tarzan talks, because last night I was gaming and I had about 20 trolls come in and say, "Where's the Tarzan talks?" Well, they'll be back next week. Yeah. Great. It's not to me viewers anyway, so that's all good. That's why I'm not going to say that anymore. I'm just going to laugh at you because, yay. Right, let's get the next part going. Charlotte, if you would like to do that countdown, the queen of the queen of the panel.
So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
She did a little pause there because she just had to wait for 4 to drop in.
I think I had a bit of a weird, not a delay thing going on there. But
I love it. I love this animation sequence. I really do. I think
Really-
that's
I really like the Troughton's animated face coming through. I mean, that's
same. So yeah, Ted's doing great. So I'll be back to a normal schedule next week, and I might jazz things up a little bit because obviously nobody really wants to talk about New Who right now. So I'll think of something, but we'll be back. We will do the Tarzan talks because there is some rumors that have been talked about on the channel that need to be. Well, want to hear your opinion on it. Interestingly enough, it looks like I won't get into it because we're here for classic, but I'll just say if Chris Chibnall is carrying on with this timeless children nonsense, right, all I'm just going to say is it's game over for Doctor Who. So, I think that's why I'm in a kind of a weird mood today, because I just realized, if he continues with this, that's it. It's dead.
Well, all it's gonna do, mate, is just completely delegitimize his era.
I know.
That's the way I see it. It's not gonna delegitimize the show. It's gonna delegitimize him.
I know, but it's done. But the thing about it is, and everybody's coming to realize now, even the other side, he's done so much damage. He has. He's ruined the reputation of the show. It's become a laughing stock. I mean, this show, even in the classic era, it was ridiculed by people that didn't understand Doctor Who. It was only Doctor Who fans that kind of loved it. But when the New Who era came along, it was introduced to a lot more people, and people did genuinely fall in love with Doctor Who, and that's what's heartbreaking. That's what I can't get over. So many people did join the fandom. Little did we know that some of them would end up turning against us and stuff. But still, it introduced a lot of other people to Doctor Who, and to see our show as loved as it was, it gave me great joy because as a Doctor Who fan, Lee will tell you because he's old enough to remember. You didn't say out loud that you were kind of a Doctor Who fan back, especially classically. You didn't come out and say you were a Doctor Who fan. It was a bit, because you were kind of, it was kind of ridiculed, but Lee, obviously, as you know, didn't give a flying fuck because he used to dress up in these costumes. But just saying, you didn't openly come out and tell people you were a Doctor Who fan, and that for me all changed when the New Who era came along. You could stand up proud and say you were a Doctor Who fan, and there was nothing to be ashamed about. You weren't ridiculed. But now it's kind of gone back to those times again. You can't really say you're a Doctor Who fan. I mean, I've been playing a few gaming streams, as you know, and even one time I was playing Fortnite, and someone says, "Oh, you a Doctor Who fan?" And I was like, "Yeah," and they just laughed for the whole time in my ear. How can you watch that crap? Jodie Whittaker is this, that, and the other, and I was like, "Well, listen, mate, I kind of agree. I don't like our Doctor, but like, don't be like ridiculing me because I love Doctor Who." But yeah, I took it very personally. I did because that's the perception now. You get laughed at. I don't like that. That's what he's done, and I'll never forgive him. Never, never.
I mean, the damage is already done. You just know that. And I mean, Series 13 looks like another train wreck just waiting to happen.
Come here. I've already look. I know it's already going to be a train wreck. It's
Yeah.
done. It's done. I mean, it's done. If he stays past, if these clowns at the BBC stay past Series, they let him stay past Series 14, well then I'm telling you now, this is what's happening. I'm rebranding the channel. I'm not doing Doctor Who ever again, and I'm moving on. I'm done. I can't do
But
it.
I can't understand this. I mean, in the RTD era, when the show started, I mean, they had the thing like Totally Doctor Who, and they get kids involved in that and talk about their passion for Doctor Who. I mean, kids are 12-year-old, 8-year-old talking about Doctor Who, talking about their favourite monsters and that, and meeting their favourite monsters and all that, and meeting David Tennant and all that, and you know. Think that doesn't happen anymore. I mean,
No.
Doctor Who Confidential. I mean, that used to be on BBC Three every after every episode. I mean,
Yeah.
and
Used to
that
tune
doesn't
in and watch
happen
it.
anymore.
I know. I used to tune in and watch Confidential. Confidential was a great little part to the end of an episode because then you
Yeah.
go and see how they came about all of this. I
Yeah.
love all of that.
I mean, look. I mean, I like the Confidential. The Fires of Pompeii. I mean, they even took the TARDIS prop away, taking a. I think it was. I think they went to Italy. I think they took the Doctor Who team to Italy to do some filming. I mean, they did online no on screen shots of the locations and all that, and
Yeah.
they don't do that now. Well,
No.
they do, but it's not glorified.
It would have been interesting actually to see. Does anybody know what kind of locations they use for the Macra Terror? Do they know where they filmed? Did they film inside the studio? Was it all done in the studio, or was it?
I would have just guessed studio just because of the way Classic was done at that point.
Yeah, but they also cannot filmed it in quarries, and well, they did locations with Troughton for beaches and that beach in the which one was that? I can't remember, but they had a kind of scene in which they had
Enemy of the World.
Enemy of the World. That's the one. Yes.
Where that opens up with him taking them to the beach, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And in typical Doctor fashion, it's like, oh, this is sort of where I wanted to go. See, this is creepy. I found it creepy.
That's what I mean. I do look. I can understand where. So I know it's not the greatest story, but there's just something about this that draws me in. It's like Pyramids of Mars. I have to be honest. That isn't the greatest story in the world. It isn't. It isn't. Zootek is deadly and all, right? The Mummy's deadly, but it's not the greatest story. It's not. It's actually not the greatest story. But again, a lot of people have a soft spot for Pyramids of Mars. It's just, yeah, it's just one of those. It's like with the new Who era as well. I have soft spots for certain episodes that wouldn't be. I mean, for example, I love of Monsters. That's detested by most fans out there. But I have a soft spot for that episode. Yeah, Peter Kay is ridiculous. The alien is absolutely disgusting. But I love it because I love the music in it. I love the character in it. The bit at the end is very cringy, yes. But other than that, it's got. I like it. I like it. just
At the end of the day,
saw
it's personal
oh.
taste.
When I first saw it, I thought, oh no, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe how Doctor Who, after Eccleston, I mean, I thought Series 2 was kind of degenerating very quickly, and I thought Love and Monsters was one of the worst episodes. Well, the first viewing, I mean, I was just about ready to kind of kick the television. I was that angry because it wasn't that entertaining.
right.
There we go. Ben's starting to get his brainwashing process now. And because Jamie's just Jamie and too stubborn, it doesn't work. I love that. It's like there's no real science behind it. It's just Jamie's Jamie. So that's why it's not worked.
It's very creepy. This, I mean, having them all brainwashed and taking a submission.
Well, but it's like Jamie sort of describes it. He goes, it's a very nice sort of almost comforting voice. But if you listen to what it's saying, it's basically saying, be compliant, be what?
Yeah, the Doctor sabotages it.
With just a good old screwdriver as well. Not a sonic one.
Right, we got Pertwee next week.
What story?
That's what I'm looking at now. The thing is, I think we've done all of his stories already. To be quite honest with you, it looks like we have. But I'm trying to pick one that we probably haven't done in a long time. So I'll give two options and I'll let the panel decide. So there's four of you. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so I won't get a vote. So I'll pick the two stories and I'll let you guys on the panel vote. So you can have Doctor Who and the Silurians, or you can have the Claws of Axios.
Got the Claws of Axos.
Yeah, Claws of Axos.
I was going to say that because I don't know what the villain is from the title. So that's why it'd be a bit surprised then for me.
Well, it's grand that you've actually picked that one because it's one I actually have on DVD. So, yay! So, I don't have to go through all the trouble of trying to find it. So, yeah, so there we go.
And I've just bagged you a special guest for next week as well.
Oh, let me know in the private chat. Very intriguing. Don't let everybody know it here. So, not yet.
Well, it'll be in the private chat, so we'll see it.
Yeah, no, I don't mind you guys seeing it. I mean, I don't want everybody in the chat to see it. Not now. It's a surprise. It's a surprise. By the way, actually, I want to give a special shout out to the one and only Ballstreck. It's his birthday today.
Happy birthday,
Oh,
Ball.
good.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Ballstrack.
So yeah, a notification come up on me. Facebook. So
I just hope we see the trigger train again.
He'll be back. He's just like everybody else, right? All the crap that's going on. He's just needed a break.
I can understand that.
It's just become relentless. It's not worth it anymore. You know, for God's sake, Jesus, all we're doing is reviewing a fucking TV show and we get stick for it. Like, ridiculous.
Oh, I love Jamie's reactions to Ben in this as well. It's like, you traitor.
Right. So there you go. I have this up now, so you will be able to see it. Hopefully. What the fuck is going on with this computer? My computer. Jesus. There we go. So there we go. So that's next week. Right, let's see who we got for next week. Oh, wow. Okay, that'd be nice. That'd be nice. Be nice to see. Yeah, I'll say nothing. But yeah, brilliant. Can't wait. Can't wait. Oh, I don't care, man. Can I just say something just real quickly? Don't want to dwell on this, but I know there's a lot of drama going on with certain YouTubers out there. Listen, I don't want to get involved. So, like, stop trying to drag me into it because, at the end of the day, I think I've already made it clear that I don't want to be getting involved in other people's drama. So, like, if there's people arguing with people out there, just leave me out of it, yeah? Okay? I don't want it. I have no interest in your drama, so keep your drama to yourselves. And don't be telling me that some people are having words in other people's ears. I don't care. They could do whatever they want. Yeah? Thank you.
Oh, I love this scene coming up.
Jill says, great choice for next week. Brilliant. I'm glad everybody is liking it. Nice.
I mean, it's Roger Delgado's master comes in it as well, and you've got an alien race that wants to kind of bargain with the human race and all that, and the Doctor being there, and it's just like there's a war, and they've got to kind of decide that the only thing they can do is try and save the human race.
Oh.
I mean, it's the master trying to control the axons and that, and gain power through them. I mean, the master is absolutely pathetic, and we know it's the Doctor we always look forward to kind of sorting the situation out.
And
So
as I said, here's the reveal. I suppose we had one before, but I think this is the proper reveal.
Yeah.
This is one that I agree with you. I really would have seen how they did it in the actual episode because it sounds like you can hear her screaming, the actress who's Polly. So I'd love to see how they would have done the whole picking her up thing and the dragging and everything.
You could just see the eyes in the background. Look.
Yeah.
Very well done.
And also, you've also got the interesting angle of Ben is like, at this point, he's pretty much under control, but there's little things still showing. And the way I saw this scene is because Polly's screaming and she's panicked and she's scared. That's what breaks his conditioning. So it's interesting to see sort of his character in this story. Sort of be this person who's almost got like a battle in his head the whole way through, and it's like which side it wins.
I love this scene. I can hear someone's in the background though.
Someone say I'm muted on all mine.
There, I can hear her screaming.
I can hear something as well.
It's still coming through, guys.
Because I'm muted on both
My
my
headphones.
the video player and my laptop. So
Yeah, I could hear something from when we first started.
I can't hear anything.
No, I can't hear it now.
yeah, it was while Polly was screaming.
Yeah, I could hear it. And it's amazing how your microphone can pick it up. I mean, even through your headset.
Well, for a start, a crab isn't an insect.
Yeah, I was thinking that when
It's an arachnid.
It's like, surely it's not. I was like,
It's a crustacean, but it's also an arachnid because it has 8 legs.
do you also think like this is the start of when Pilot starts to question a bit with the reveal of basically Controller not being a person? Because the way I think Pilot acts in this, from this point onwards, you start to see a bit of doubt creeping.
Mm.
So yeah, it's pretty obvious this guy is in charge.
Somewhat under duress there.
Yeah, just a bit.
Yeah. Ooh. The mask is slipping.
So the way they control people, because I always thought the Macra had naturally like hypnotic powers almost. So is it like a combination of that and subliminal sort of messages? With the sort of like sleeping, like when they were asleep, that whole idea of implanting messages in your head. Plus, they've got psychic powers anyway.
Mm. Yeah, I'm at the titles now. Oh, I mean, the end, whatever you call them, end titles, is that what you call it?
Yeah, and titles, I think.
Yeah. Just waiting for the other one to pop up now. The first couple loaded up straight away, but I don't know, I've got to. It seems to be, I don't know, even the titles move and it seems to be a bit jarring on the screen. So I'm hoping the next
Well,
one
like we
doesn't
said, we'll give it a couple minutes.
BBC Studio.
Well, BBC aren't in good straits. Have you heard about what the current issues are with them because
Yeah,
of this
about the
Diana
Diana.
interview?
Yeah, about the Diana interview. They're in
Yeah.
deep shit now. They're up shit. It's creek.
Well, it sounds like the government are threatening the title. The headlines I saw today was
Yeah.
possible cut, like making the TV license less, or freeze.
So do you mean
So if that
they
happens,
are
they're
going to
not,
make
they're not going to
it?
be.
They're going to take it free?
I know people are giving out, but I think it was one of the best interviews that was ever done. To be honest with you, to get
Oh
an
yeah, yeah, but it's the cover up, like you sort of said before. It's the fact that they knew they'd done wrong and they covered it up, and now it's all coming out in the wash.
Yeah. Well, Martin Bashir, whoever else is involved, they'll get their comeuppance anyway. It always happens. This is the way we seem to be now in society. People are being punished for past mistakes, but this one I can understand why people are kind of a bit angry about it because it was Diana. But let's not forget as well. I just want to make this clear. She did agree to do the interview, so I think people forget that as well.
Yeah,
Like,
but it's the tactics, mate. It's the tactics.
oh no, I get the tactics were wrong, but she still agreed to do the interview. I just think again, we're living in a time in society where people just want to be outraged about something. I mean, it's the biggest interview that was ever done in the history of interviews. I mean, they compared it to the Meghan Markle and Harry one recently, and the Harry and Meghan Markle one didn't go anywhere near it. It's still the biggest viewed interview ever done by anybody. So I mean, she agreed to do it. She thought, yes, I don't like their tactics, but she still agreed to do it. She still spoke, you know. So, the whole Princess Diana thing is always going to be a bit of a sensitive one because you have on one side, you got people that adore her and, they don't want to hear anything bad about her. But she wasn't perfect. Like, you make her out to be perfect and all of this. Princess Diana was not perfect. She was far from it. But at the end of the day, when I hear Harry and discussing things on that Apple TV interview, and he's trying to compare what Megan's gone through to what his mother went through, I find that totally disgusting. Someone should tell the clown. Someone should actually slap that clown in the face and tell him to shut the hell up. Right? You're disrespecting your father. You're disrespecting your mother. You're an absolute disgrace. You are. Absolute disgrace. And listen, I'm no fan of the royal family, but he's coming out and saying all of this when the Queen just lost her fucking husband. Right?
That's just, mate, in our country right now, he's a public enemy number one.
Yeah, well, he is. He should be public enemy number one. Even Irish people over here are shocked at the way he's going on.
Because in this country,
he was a rogue. Yeah. We all love a rogue. We and now look at how he's turned out. But listen, his mother would not like the way he is turned out. She'd be ashamed of him right now. Is Charles perfect? No, he isn't. But I always have said this, and I'll say it again. I've always believed since Princess Diana's death, he has tried to make it right with those boys. And for Harry to throw it all in his face, I think it's absolutely disgusting. And the woman that he's married to, she's a lot to do with what's going on right now. And I tell you, I never thought one woman could do so much damage, but there you go. Well, listen, that's for another day, another time.
It's spousal narcissistic abuse.
Yeah. Well, let's get back to this story. So, everybody in the chat ready?
Yes. Hold on, I need to mute myself again. Oh, because you don't want a copyright strike.
Well, we'll wait for ones to appear anyway, mate. So
yeah,
you've got time.
But seriously, man, I just got to the stage though as well. Cheryl was telling me about and filling me in of what was going on, and I was like, Do you know what? I actually don't give a crap anymore. There's more important stuff going on in the world right now. So, whatever those two twats do, I don't really give a crap. Let them rot now. Let them stay in Canada, wherever they are. If I were him, I'd never show me face in the UK again. He ought to be ashamed of himself. That's all I'll say. And listen, I'm no fan of the royal family, but Jesus Christ, that young fella needs his father. Do you know what? Charles needs to step up now, and he needs to be the dad that he is and tell his son to shut down up. Simple as that. How dare he question him, right? Guy has had a silver spoon hanging out his mouth ever since he's fucking born, right? He's never been through hardships, and the way he's fucking talking, you think he was through the mill. Yes, you lost your mother at a young age. Yes, that'll have an impact on your life. Of course it will. But stop being a twat now and attacking everybody that's supposed to be your family member. That's what I don't get. Like, we all have falling outs with our families, and we all make up. That's we don't always get on, right? But this twat, right, and his wife keeps saying, well, we don't want to be in the public eye. And every 5 minutes they're doing a fucking interview. You didn't want to be in the public eye. So if the paparazzi, right? So if the paparazzi hounds you and Meghan now for the next couple of years, don't blame them. You got yourself to blame because you were being a twat. You didn't keep your mouth shut when you said you were going to keep your mouth shut. You start doing interviews when you said you weren't going to do interviews. So shut the hell up, right? Simple as that. So, if anything happens to you or happens to Meghan, he's happy as ourselves to fucking blame. All right? Don't blame everybody else playing the victim. That's what I don't get about him. He's there playing the victim now, just like every other little twat out there that does. I'm playing the victim. Right? Shut up. Grow up and grow a set of balls as well. Tell your woman to shut the hell up as well, filling your head with nonsense. Right? What happened to your mother was bad, but don't be comparing the two. There's no way you compare what's happening to Meghan Markle happening to Princess Diana, because we all lived through the Princess Diana thing. I seen, like everybody else, seen what that woman went through. She couldn't even take a piss without fucking a paparazzi fucking cameraman fucking waiting to take a fucking shot, right? Fuck off. Talk to me about people being hounded to their fucking death. You don't know what's fucking like.
Right, are we ready for the episode?
Yeah.
I didn't know I'd set off a beast, but okay.
Right, I'm sorry. It does annoy me. And I know I'm Irish and all, but I just thought I'd say big up to the royal family for, I have to say, putting up with that shite, man. I'm surprised you haven't done something about it, because if it was me, I'd shut them up. It's simple as that. But
see, Noel's going for a knighthood here, I think.
I'd refuse it. I'd refuse it. But no, I'm not a royalist. Never have been. Hate them. Can't stand them. But the Queen just lost her husband. They're being insensitive twats talking about whatever, and they should keep their mouth shut right now. It's not the time to be talking about all of that. And by the way, here's the thing: if you have a family issue, right, you shouldn't be playing out in the public anyway. So he's a twat for that anyway, publicly attacking. If he has anything to say to his father about his parenting skills or anybody else in the royal family, he should go behind closed doors and fucking tell them, instead of making it all public like little twat doing interviews with Oprah and all of this other crap. Shut the fuck, right? Shut up, Harry. Right? Sick of you. Go ahead.
Right, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Go. Here we go. Do. Oh my God. The Macra terror.
Keep away, don't touch me. Ah!
I know you're dead. Episode 3. Oh, my computer is freezing. I'm sorry, I had a bit of a rant, computer.
I didn't know your computer was a Meghan Markle fan.
I don't think anybody is. I mean, she's not doing herself any favors, man. That's the thing. Like, nobody would actually be coming after her if she just kept her mouth shut and he kept his mouth shut. I mean, they just keep giving people more ammo. I just don't get it. But listen, I'm gonna forget about it now because I've said all I've had to say about it now. Got it out of my system because I'm just sick of people telling, "Oh, do you hear what they did?" I don't care.
Do you know what I'm missing? I'm missing the Eurovision Song Contest to be here. It's the first time in I don't know how many years.
Actually, well, I'm not interested because a bunch of racists out there don't vote Ireland in anymore. You all hate Ireland for some weird reason now. We don't even get past the semi-final stage anymore.
Well, it's like UK, you know.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we still
in
do.
fairness, it's at least you get into the final. You just end up coming
because
last.
we pay for it.
You just end up coming last because you have shit songs all the time. Like, seriously, you have always been inferior. You have always been the lesser to Ireland. We've always been the kings of Eurovision. You have even tried to compete with us a couple of years, and we've trounced you like in the scoreboard. When it comes to singing talent, we've got the best talent. So the fact that we're not in Eurovision, it's not worth watching. It's not worth watching. Eurovision is Ireland. Ireland is Eurovision. We're the country that won the most Eurovisions. We are the champs. We'll never be beaten, even if you don't vote us in anymore. Maybe I'll represent Ireland in a couple of years' time. Bring the trophy back.
Do it.
Bring the trophy back to Dublin. And say, there you go, Brits. That's how you do it. Yeah. Funny mess. Actually, in 1 year, he's actually had a couple of great songs, and he's just got pipped because the other songs were just better, slightly better. But Gina G came close. Like, I mean, the year that she sang that just a little bit, that was a great song. It was number one in the UK and Irish charts. It did very well, and everybody.
It used to be played to death in all the gay clubs. I remember that.
Yeah.
Did my absolute fucking head in.
Yeah. And it came close. It came close, but when you didn't win it that year, I think that's when you realised that it'd be a while before you would win it, because that was our best chance, I have to be honest. I think we beat you that year.
Yeah, look, everyone, it will beat Britain now. Like,
oh God,
Azerbaijan would beat Britain.
Oh yeah, because you are out of the EU now, yeah. So I'm interested to see how now the voting system, because whether people like it or not, right? Eurovision is political. It's always been political because the voting system is political, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
There's certain countries that won't vote for certain countries out there, and there'll be countries that will vote for each other because that's just the way it is. It's funny. The fact that Australia is in it now kind of annoys me because they're not part of Europe. Australia shouldn't be in it, just like the United States. They should never be allowed to enter the Eurovision because it's Eurovision. If you're gonna start adding other countries like Australia and stuff, well, then you have to change it from the Eurovision to World Vision. Because if you're gonna start allowing other countries that aren't part of your part of it, well, then you have to change it because could you American entries into the Eurovision though? They'd probably take it seriously.
Yeah, but it can't be any more worse than Madonna trying to lip sync and failing miserably like she did a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that performance was.
And she looked half drunk. It was like, what are you doing?
She drugged or something, yeah. Well, I am a fan of Eurovision. I have to be honest. Listen, what you call it? It wasn't on last year, so I was kind of annoyed because all the songs were out and there's some decent songs. Then they did a virtual vote thing, and then they picked their favorite song. Again, for me, for Eurovision to work, you need to get rid of the juries, and you just need to make a public vote like they do with the X Factor, and just get people to vote in for their favorite fucking song. End of. Have no restrictions and just bang. Now you can even have UK people vote for a UK fucking song. Why not? Why fucking not?
Yeah, no. We'd pick a stupid song if we were allowed to
No,
vote.
it is though. The rest of Europe would pick the best song. That's the thing. Use my I'll vote for user song, but the rest of Europe would pick the best song. That's the thing. You wouldn't.
Yeah,
You
but
wouldn't be able to fix it.
to
Even
vote,
though it kills the fixing Eurovision
I
to
mean,
lose.
for God's sake, we could name a boat and we called it Boat Team Up Boat Face. So
Yeah.
don't trust us to vote.
Katrina on the Waves was the last time you won. That was a great song. That was a great song that year. But I remember we put out a song one year where RT was deliberately trying to lose the Eurovision, and they had a song called "We Were the Rock and Roll Kids," but something else happened that night, and it was called Riverdance. Right? Now Ireland's entry that year was a good song.
What have I started here? Honestly,
but it wasn't the great. Well, hold on, it wasn't the greatest. Wasn't the greatest song in the world, but Riverdance happened, right? And because of that halftime, it did. I mean, that thing got a standing ovation for nearly 7 minutes, right? We won that year not because of the song, but because of Eurovision. RT was trying to lose it that year, and they did fucking Riverdance, and people just said, here, we have to have the Eurovision in Ireland again. So we won. We won, even though we tried to lose it. Ireland has deliberately tried to lose the Eurovision over the last few years. And then recently now they've decided, oh no, we're taking it serious again. But the thing about it is every song they're choosing is shit. I mean, we sent Jedward over, that was the closest. They couldn't even get through the semi-final. And their song was actually good though. Real Super Doctor keeps disappearing.
It'd be his internet.
Yeah, there's something wrong with my connection now.
Must be the weatherman. My internet has been playing up. Actually, that's another thing. Has everybody's internet been playing up lately these last couple of months? Like the signal just gone and then like it'll come back and then go again. No?
No, mine's been pretty solid.
Yeah, nobody talks about Dustin the Turkey, Jules. How dare you? Dustin the Turkey and Eurovision. Listen, Dustin the Turkey in Ireland is a very popular puppet and character, right? He has done albums over here that are very popular. I even love them myself. But it was the biggest mistake that we ever did was to send him over in a fucking shopping trolley to try and win the Eurovision. What a fucking joke it was. Now, I know that the Eurovision, Lee will tell you this, the Eurovision is always fucking over the top. It really is. I mean, one year we had Russian grannies. Do you remember the Russian grannies that year? They were deadly. They were tipped to win it. I don't think they actually won it. They came second to Ukraine, I think, won it that year. But there was Russian grannies. You wouldn't get that anywhere else in the world, like, or any other competition in the world but Eurovision. I do love Eurovision, but the last couple of years, it's just, yeah, it's just not the same. It's not the same. Right, I'm done with talking Eurovision now. Yeah. Don't judge your nation's music culture by Eurovision, for fuck's sake. But no, that's the interesting thing about Eurovision. It used to be about highlighting each country's culture, because years ago, most of the singers, actually all of the singers, sang in their own language. And even if you didn't understand the song, if it had a catchy tune and the singer was actually good, you'd get behind the song. But now they all want to sing in English, so it's kind of lost that. That's what I said. Ireland need to go back. For Ireland to win the Eurovision, you need to do a Riverdance kind of thing again, right? What they need is, right, the rules of Eurovision is you need a song a song has to have at least 23 lyrics or something in it, right, for it to be classified as a song. So in Ireland, you could get some. We've got some great female vocalists here, as you know. Do you know? I'd even get Sinead O'Connor, get her to do a traditional Irish song, a brand new traditional Irish song, and have Irish dancers dancing to it, have a good beat to it, and I think we'd have a good chance. I think Ireland has tried to. We've sent over pop songs all the time. We need to go back to our culture. That's what Eurovision was always great at, highlighting each country's culture. It's lost that now. It's lost it. It's become more commercialized now. I mean, the singles, the songs even get released beforehand, whereas years ago, you'd hear the songs only that night and you'd vote on the song that bloody night. You know what I mean? And they need to go back to that format, in my opinion. I don't want to hear the songs 3 or 4 weeks before the competition starts. You know, because you want to hear them fresh that night. Because a song, if it's that good, will stick in your mind. You know what I mean? It'll stick in your mind straight away. I think the Eurovision has lost a lot. Oh, this is one of my favourite scenes now with Jamie.
The only thing is, like, before the boss guy who's in charge here got like one whiff on his face and he was flat out. It's like, it looks like Jamie, like, in a bit is in it like for more than 10 minutes and he just coughs. It's a bit that's one of those things in classic where you go, yeah, they didn't really think that bit through, did they?
There's a bit of sunshine where Daniel is.
Just a bit.
You could just see one side of his face. If he moved over to the right a little bit, it'd literally be one half of his face is dark and the other half would be right. Daniel, just move over to the right a little bit. Jeez, that is some sunlight. Here it's bleeding miserable and dark.
Yeah, it's kind of dark where I am, but there's a wee bit of sunlight, but not much. It's strange.
Yeah, strange weather, all right. Strange weather, all right.
I love that. I'll just chuck that at it. That will stop it. Crap! I'll just chuck some goggles.
Daniel has Blade Runner lighting.
He does, which is funny considering 2 weeks ago we were chatting about that with Cockney.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
very film noir there.
I love this part coming up now. I must be behind because Jamie is only look, Jamie is running from the Macra now. Well, he's hiding, I should say.
Well, I'm on the doctor's doing chemistry right now.
Yeah, that's where I am.
Yeah.
Well, how am I that
the
far
chemistry
behind?
bit.
What the hell? Well, I'm leaving it because I'm enjoying it. So, like, you know. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I'm about 20 seconds behind you.
I didn't think it'd be much.
It doesn't matter.
Because that's interesting. I like that. That's another thing they do with the Doctor. Like you saw the equations before, and now he's like trying to test the gas. You see a lot of the scientist in the second Doctor in this story, and I think they sort of purposely didn't show that a lot sometimes with Pat's Doctor because that was like a Bill thing.
Yeah, but then they brought it kind of back for Pertwee's Doctor then, because he was always working in the lab.
I think they just didn't want to repeat, did they? Is what I've always thought. They just sort of with Pat's Doctor, they wanted him to be almost like that, and we've always said it was such a hard thing to do because it was the first regeneration, it was the first new incarnation, and you can tell they wanted it to be different. They didn't want to repeat a Bill, but they had to tread that ground so carefully. So they probably thought we don't want to have that straight after we've just had it, so have the break and then, like you said, do it with Pertwee again.
Because I mean, all the sciencey stuff. I mean, it kind of breaks up the clownishness of Troughton. What he was trying to achieve at the beginning.
Yeah, I think he kind of, as he went along, he harnessed his Doctor and he was able to get it just right. In my opinion, I like his Doctor. I really do. It's just such a shame that most of his stories we'll never see. It's ridiculous, actually. BBC's policy back in the day, absolutely disgusting. And I know,
bearing in mind that they those programs were funded by the British people, and they had every stake in that.
Yeah,
every stake.
And that's what I mean. They should have been archived. They should have been protected because, as you said, paid for by the British public. So they have a responsibility, actually, to maintain and to.
I think they should have been prosecuted for theft and destruction of
British
our
property. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely spot on, but nothing will ever be done. Nothing will ever be done.
Well, no, it's way too late now.
I still have high hopes that the episodes will be found someday. That some.
I tell you, I reckon most, if not all of them, are about, but they are owned by super fans who simply do not want anyone else to have them.
Yeah,
so we have to wait until they pass away before we get.
They might just not trust the BBC.
That's what it is. They probably wouldn't trust the BBC.
Yeah, it could be that easily.
No, I genuinely believe there are some super fans out there who do have copies of the missing episodes, and they just simply are such super fans. I just don't want to share it with anyone. That it's their thing. That it's, no one else can have it. I mean, you have to think there are some people, mega fans out there, who will be that fanatical that they would do something like that.
I get that. I do. I kind of do get that because you know not how I feel about the show. But at the end,
it's been proven already because I think it was Philip Morris. Discovered. If it wasn't him, someone discovered after someone had passed away that they had, some missing episodes of things, and they kept it. But it's only when their stuff had been gone through and there was all this stuff there. So it has happened before. So I mean, it's a big chance it's happening.
You shouldn't have to wait for these people to die to get them. I can understand where they're coming from. I really do. But to kind of withhold it and to not let the fans see it is I'm going to say it. It's selfish, actually.
Oh,
Yes, it is.
Oh yeah, but that
well, I guarantee that is the case. Not with all of them necessarily, but certainly with some.
See, what I originally thought the BBC were keeping them back so they could make more money out the fans.
I don't know. I still suspect that they have others that they haven't. I really do.
God, yeah, they're waiting.
Because all of a sudden we're getting this Galaxy. What's it? Galaxy 10? Is that what it's called?
Galaxy 4.
Galaxy 4. Sorry, why do I keep saying Galaxy 10? Galaxy 4. But where did that come from? All of a sudden. Seriously.
Yeah, BBC are completely. They've got some things in stock that they're waiting for dry periods of the main show. Well, let's put it that way to be nice.
They're not making money now. So you see, I even said this last year. I said, don't be surprised if other animations just pop out of the blue. Because I do believe that they do. Look, I'll agree with Lee. I certainly don't think they have them all. I reckon, like Lee, there are super fans out there that do have some of these and refuse to hand them over. And in some ways, I wouldn't blame them. In other ways, I think it is selfish. But why would you trust BBC when you get shit like this? Not like the Macra Tower, but I mean, look at the Fury from the Deep animation. Why would you want to hand it over? You know, you're probably protecting it. Probably in their minds, they're protecting these stories. So I can get it to a certain extent. But listen, don't be fooled but for 1 second to think that BBC don't have any in reserve. They do. Because this Galaxy 4 just popped out of the blue. They announced Fury the Deep and all the others. They never mentioned this, and now all of a sudden it's being done. Right? I'm telling you, they do. I discussed this with someone last year on this channel. We were talking about the animations, and we were coming up with a couple of theories. And we even said at the time that we reckon BBC do have something reserved. They're just biding their time, and then when they feel that they have to release something to make a bit of money, that's the way they'll do it. And that's exactly the way they're going to do it. And right now, the show is not making money. And now all of a sudden, this Galaxy 4 gets called out. Wait, you see now, don't be surprised after that, when that's announced, something else gets announced. Because I'm telling you now, they do have some in reserve. I know for a fact they do. BBC have always been slimy little snakes, right? They'll hold them. They don't respect us, right? But they know as soon as they throw out, they would say they make an announcement that there's another classic release, we'll all jump on board. They don't give a shit about us. They just want the money, and they'll buy their time. And when the time is right, when they know that, when they sense the mood in the fandom, they drop a release. All of a sudden, Galaxy 4 gets announced after all of the mayhem in the fandom over the last couple of weeks. Think about it, the timing and all.
It's a distraction.
Yeah.
Of course, it's a distraction, and they played a blinder because everybody now is, oh yeah, Galaxy 4, blah, blah, it's not the greatest story, but yeah, can't wait to see it. But see, they knew what they were doing, and this is what they do. They'll wait for the next bleeding fucking thing to blow up, and then what will happen? Oh, by the way, here we go, Doctor Who fans. Here's another classic release we're going to announce.
See, I wouldn't be surprised if it was the evil of the Daleks.
That's what I'm saying. There's fans out there accusing Philip Morris of holding them back. I don't think it's not him. It's the BBC. I reckon they do have that. They know it's a story that fans have wanted for fucking years, right? And I guarantee you they have that in reserve. I fucking guarantee you they have that in reserve, man. And they won't release it yet because they'll wait. They'll bide their time because that's the one that fans really want. It's one.
You know when they'll release it? They'll release it after Series 13.
After the fallout of that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Gonna tell you right now, if anybody thinks that Series 13 all of a sudden is gonna bring fans together and it's gonna fucking mend what's happened, Well, another thing coming, and I'm telling you, the fallout of this is going to be spectacular, and BBC will be backtracking, and they'll need to do something, and I guarantee it. Wait, there'll be a release after release. I'm telling you, I can feel it in my bones. I can feel it in my bones. So I'm going to shut up now because we're going to get to the last part. So everybody press 1 in the chat. Lee, you wanted to say something there. You can go ahead, buddy.
No, I didn't want to say anything at all. I'm just here for the lols.
Right. Daniel, do you want to say something about what you watched so far, or do you want to wait until we get to the end? We'll assume you wait until we get to the end.
He's on mute.
Yeah, he's on
mute. That's why give us a thumbs up if we're waiting until the end, yeah? Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Right. Let's do this, Charlotte. I think we got all the ones that we're going to get. So if you would like to do the countdown, go for it. Knock yourself out.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Go.
Even if Alex has been talked for years, and I can tell you now, it's going to happen.
Like I said to you, it's going to be after Series 30. They're going to announce it after Series 30. As a complete.
Your dog. My dog. Why is he do? Why? What's happened now? What did he do?
He jumped off the bed into his little crate.
Right. Did he hurt himself?
No, it's not the point.
Right. Say hello to everybody.
No.
Well, they can hear you because you know I'm streaming. So why didn't you come in and make sure?
Haven't I been in there for like a day?
So like Ted is playing up now, so I have to take him now. And
no, he was on the bed though.
Oh, he's barking now. Do you hear him? Because he knows we're talking to each other. See, Ted's back to normal now because Mammy and Daddy can't sit in the same room anymore. He controls everything in the house.
I know ours. As soon as my mum's on the phone, it starts barking to anybody, so they know.
Well, the past month he's literally had a babysitter. So
yeah, I know. That's what's happened. He's become spoiled rotten now. Hello, folks. 32 dislikes. What's going on? Who gives a crap if there's 32 dislikes? Let them dislike the stream.
About half of them will disappear once the stream goes back up. So
they'll disappear, yeah.
Yeah. I just find that a bit kind of weird tonight. It's not like the last week. No.
Yeah, all of a sudden they've resurfaced, even though I'm not even talking about the new Who era, but they seem to be obsessed.
They're just bored. They're bored.
As we said, they've got nothing better to do and they're sad.
They're bored because they're boring.
But yeah.
You know what? I'm really bored, so I'm rewatching Love Island highlights.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's nicer than trolling people.
Yeah. Well, we got 25 likes though, guys. So thank you everybody that has liked the stream because they'll stay there. So thank you very much. I really appreciate the support.
And Thinking, is that who I just glanced? Yeah, hello Thinking. Oh, and Cam as well. Cam's, I think, popped in about 5-10 minutes ago. So hi Cam. Hope everything's better health-wise on your end.
I don't know what's going on with these people, but this week, just this week, it started up again.
I have an idea why, but it's nothing to do with you. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
let's just say a YouTuber did a 5-hour critique of the Chibnall era, so that's ruffled a few.
Oh yeah. I've heard some people about the 5 hours. Well, the thing about it is this, right? Is that the person that's done the video or the stream or whatever has actually went into great detail to highlight all of the flaws. And if that somehow upsets you all because it's there front and center now for you all to see, I would say, well, cry into a bowl of cornflakes, because as I told you already 3 years ago that this was going to happen, but you wouldn't listen to us. Yeah, and this is the result. So listen, you've made your beds. This is your era. Go and support it. Won't last that long anyway. But you, along with Chris Chibnall, are all responsible for the downfall of our great show, and you will never be forgiven. So as far as I'm concerned, as soon as this era is done, you can get the hell out of the fandom. You aren't welcome anymore. Sick of this. Sick of this.
Yeah, Jamie, just keep banging it with a piece of wood. That's going to.
That's it, Jamie. You get you there. You
You
go on.
for it, lad.
I don't know what you're using Jodie Whittaker for to do that, though. What are you using a plank for? Jesus Christ, he's using. What the hell? What the hell? Come on now, Jamie. Thought you were
That's
better.
your
than
future companion replacement.
that. And I don't care what you do. At the end of the day, her performance is plank. It's wooden because she's not given that decent to work with. And she's not great herself.
You know, she could have been really great and proved us all wrong. I mean, look at Matt Smith. I mean, we all thought he was kind of too young for the part.
No,
And
yeah.
then all of a sudden, you know, when he stepped into costume, you know, you saw the authority of the Doctor there, and I thought that's good. That's him. That's the Doctor.
Yeah. And great little segue. Well done, John, because tomorrow we have Time of the Angels.
Oh, great.
It's a great. Do you know what I was actually thinking, though? Right? When it comes to the two-parters, I was actually thinking, instead of doing one week and then having to wait a whole week, why not do the two at the same time? We'll do it
Yeah,
That sounds good.
Right, and actually do the two of them. So I was thinking of doing the two of them tomorrow. So the panel, I don't know if I actually have a panel tomorrow. If PD Rich is available, I know he'll come on. But if any of you guys want to join me for a new Who tomorrow, and we'll do that two-parter, let me know in the private chat, and you can join me for that. We'll start at 7, the same time as today. We'll start at 7 and we'll do the two. It'll be over and all by, well, both episodes be over and all by half an hour and a half, right? Isn't it 45 minutes each or something? So, and they're good stories.
Yeah, I don't mind saying this now. Me and Daniel are with PJ tomorrow, so.
Okay, no problem. Well, PD Rich will be here, so that's fantastic. I'll see. Yeah, I might have to see now because I can understand where Daniel's coming from with New Who at the moment, and everybody else. But I'll see. I'll see if I can recruit other people for the time being.
If I'm free, I'm always happy to do it, mate. It's just
I know that. I know that.
Yeah, I'll be happy to do it if you want me to come on.
No problem. Brilliant. This is the saying here now, right? That I was telling you about earlier at the start of the stream, right? Because Polly here is frightened, yeah, right? And at first he snaps at her, but then he holds her hand and he got everything will be all right. And that to me sums up what there is, you know, like no matter what, like we've seen it throughout the news. See, there you go. He's holding her hand now. I just found that beautiful. Seriously, the whole scene. I know I missed a little bit because I was talking. That whole scene is beautiful because he snaps at her first, and then he realizes, well, maybe I shouldn't have snapped at her, and then he reassures her. Then he holds her hand, then as that extra little bit of reassurance. Well, we'll go together, sort of thing. And then you get Jodie with it. Oh, I'm great. I've got cancer. Well, I'm socially awkward. Sorry, I just can't help. I'm in a weird humor today.
Daniel needs a timestamp.
Oh, Daniel. All right, Daniel. Hold on. I'll get it for you now, pal. If I can read properly. Is that 8 or is that 9 minutes? I think we're on 8 minutes and 14 seconds, or it's 9 minutes and 14 seconds because it's cut out right at the vital spot when it's on.
Well, mine says 8:25 now, so that sounds
right.
Like
well then, yeah. Well, we're on 8:33. Yeah, it's 8. Go to 8:45, Daniel, and you should be caught up.
Oh, I love this scene with Jamie coming up. He has to dance. It's hilarious.
You see, he's kind of creeping up on them.
But how did he not notice him? That's what I want to know. Like, I understand he's talking and being a distraction, but they would still surely see Jamie walking in front of them.
Oh, we got a like on Facebook as well. Thank you, whoever liked the stream on Facebook. Appreciate it. Appreciate all the support, as I said. And thank you for the people that have been watching me gaming streams as well. I know it's something completely different. And even though there has been the trolls on that as well, you know, I'm not going to stop doing something that I enjoy. At the end of the day, as I said, you know, I've just gotten all over. Listen, you hate me, I get it, yeah. But you can go and take your hate somewhere else because I don't really give a flying fuck anymore. I used to care what people used to think about me, but I don't actually care because the people that matter to me are the people that are here right now, and you people will never matter to me. So that's the way I look at it now. You don't matter to me. The people that I have
He's
here on the panel, the people that have in the chat to support
doing
me,
the Highland
they're the
Fling.
ones that matter to me, and that's the bottom line.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Jamie doing his Scottish dancing.
Yeah, sun in Scotland. Yeah, Daniel, the sun's so bad. You probably have to pull your blinds, mate. I can see that you have blinds as well because there's lines going across
Yeah.
behind the
He's
wall.
done film noir.
I think that's
Daniel.
because in the east.
He walks
east
into the
side.
room.
Yeah, that's what's fun with Daniel. You either get a blank screen and you can't see him, or you get sort of noir, as we're now calling it, Daniel.
I love this scene because it's in super slow mo. The way Jamie just keeps backing away from the door.
I'm just surprised that Daniel's got sunlight in Scotland.
Yeah, I know because it's miserable here. I'm actually jealous.
Sun's almost setting now.
Oh yeah,
Two
Jules.
words that don't normally go together: sun and Scotland. Exactly, rain in Scotland, rain in Dublin. Dublin's the same. Weather is probably kind of similar, except it would be harsher in Scotland because it's more north. But yeah, we never.
And we're supposed to get some frosty nights as well.
Yeah, and so Jules just to comment. Yeah, it would have been fun to see Fraser actually do the Highland Fling, because he probably did have fun.
Go ahead. Sorry, Charlotte. I just seen a comment there from Cam who says, how can there be those amount of dislikes? Ridiculous. The ClassicWhoZone and all your content and love of Doctor Who is great. You relit my fire for classic and new till after Capaldi. Thank you. I appreciate that. Listen, I'm not going to stop doing the Matt Smith era, and then I will do the Peter Capaldi era because I do love his Doctor. And as I said, I love doing these classic stories, and I'll continue to do them because I know there are people out there that love them. So, yeah, we'll be here. We won't be going anywhere. But those dislikes will disappear. It'll probably end up being. I normally get 3 or 4 dislikes per video. It's the same 3 or 4 people. So that's what it'll go down to when the stream goes up. Just sad little people with different accounts pretending to be people and disliking the video because there's nothing better to do.
Yeah, and just to add to what Noah was saying, it's like one of my favourite Matt scenes when he's got little Amelia and he's waiting for the crack to completely take him, and that whole speech of we're all stories in the end.
Yeah.
And that I think that's Moffat purposely talking about how this show, technically, there's creators and there's showrunners and there's actors that all create it, but we choose. There are stories, and you can never take that away from us. You can try, but the memory and the emotion, and it's like he says that you'll dream of that blue box. It's like we'll dream of how we remembered it.
And no matter how bad things get, Doctor Who will always live on. I mean, it always lives on. It lives on in the classic series. It lives on in the audios and in the books and the future releases and the animations and that. And I mean, even though if the series finishes after series 13, we've still got a lot of Doctor Who to look
That's what I
forward
mean.
to.
We have to look at it that way. We do. We have the past anyway, and we've got some cracking stories as well in New Who, as well that we can look back on fondly. They can't take that away from us. You're right. They'll never be able to take that away from us, no matter how much they try to change it. They'll never be able to take that away from us.
No, because that moment when you first saw a Doctor that clicked, that moment when a line personally almost reached out to you.
Yeah, that stays with you. You never lose that.
That stays.
I even remember when Christopher Eccleston's Doctor came back, and the way he has when the Rose keeps asking him, "Who are you?" and then he grabs her hand and he talks about the weak feel the war, that blew me away. That to me was Christopher Eccleston's arrival as the Doctor when he actually said that speech to her, and I just thought, wow, we're going to be in for some ride here with this show. And it just got better and better.
Yeah, and that speech did really summed up the Doctor back then. I mean, it summed up who he was. He was an alien. He was from another world, and he was a lost traveler in time and space, and he was just there to kind of, fix things and fix situations, and basically when it was just. Rose was all surprised by him and everything like that, and it was just the starting of the building blocks of the character coming back to television again and having fun adventures again in time and space. I mean, I really thought that the new series wouldn't work for me, and I thought it would just be, it would just be for kids and that, and I saw the oversized police box, and I saw the Christopher Eccleston in the leather jacket, and I thought, nah, that's no Doctor Who. But until I saw episode 1, I rose and sat down and I watched it for myself, and it was gripping. It was like a classic Doctor Who episode, and
I agree with you, John. That's exactly how I felt when he was casting at the time. I didn't think I was actually a lot more nervous because this was such a big comeback. Like this was like nobody, like there was talks about it coming back over the years, but nothing really materialized. So this comeback, even Russell T speaks about it. It could have so easily went so wrong on episode 1 when they released it, but it didn't. It really resonated with a lot of fans, and you know what? I was just delighted that it was going to be for everybody, the family unit. It wasn't just aimed at kids. It had a bit of adult humor, and I thought, great, this is brilliant, and it did. It just got better and better during the Russell T era. I mean, season 4 is still his breath, but go ahead.
Yeah, I never thought for once I'd be watching it. I thought that, right, I'm sticking to my classic stuff. And I never thought for once that I would be sitting down and watching episode 1, episode 2, and episode 3, and then feeling sad at the end that he's going. It's just like you got to know the Doctor again, and you got to know his adventures again, and that in 2005 was an exciting time. I mean, it was a time that that got me more interested in Doctor Who again. It kind of sparked the excitement and that for the show again, and it just brought all that new level of interest in it again.
I mean, it was like, for me, it was like, when Christopher Eccleston first appeared on the screen, it kind of connected me to my childhood all again, remembering watching the classic era, but at the same time, because I was obviously older, I felt the connection to this. It didn't. I didn't feel alienated by the Russell T era. He made sure that even fans like us would have something that we'd like within that show, and it worked so well. I mean, the Russell T era, no matter what anybody says, you know, writing was absolutely fantastic. Plot wise, you know, his little subplots that were going on as well, and he was able to connect them all together. Characterization, character development, you know, was absolutely spot on. I mean, it's just look, when New Who came back, I think we've been very lucky. I mean, we got RTD, and then yes, Moffat's era is flawed, but there's some great stories within there, and we've had some up until the latest casting. Every person that cast as the Doctor has been spot on. We've been spoiled rotten. If you actually go throughout the history of Doctor Who and every Doctor, William Hartnell, Pat, John Pertwee, Tom Baker, right? Peter Davison. I don't even whether you're a fan of Colin Baker or not. You know, Colin Baker, Sylvester McCoy, Paul McGann, Christopher Eccleston, right? David Tennant, Matt Smith, and Peter Capaldi. I mean, holy shit, that's not to be sniffed. And we've been lucky. We really have with every person that's played the role. And even though Colin Baker is not my favourite or Sylvester McCoy, they still did play that legendary role, and they do have some stories that are, well, more Sylvester McCoy. There are stories that I do like of McCoy's. Colin Baker, I'm softening up to him as we do the watch alongs, but still, you know, I just didn't like his version of the Doctor, but I do get where they were coming from with it. But we have been very lucky. I mean, we've gotten some terrific actors to play the Doctor, some that we didn't even think that would be able to do it, and they did. They blew us away. So, you know, we can be proud of that. You know, we've got a lot of things to be proud of when it comes to this show. You know, it's not all doom and gloom.
So that's why, with all the stuff going on, and I won't go into detail, I will always say this: never let what other people think or what other people are trying to apply from their view on. Never let other people's views or feelings or arguments or emotions change your own about something. Like, whether that's classic or new Who, whatever Doctor it is, whatever, all those emotions you felt watching that Doctor, all those highs and lows, or, like I said, those moments that you almost felt like this character wasn't just a character on a television screen. You got to know them as almost like a friend or something close to you. Never let that be diminished. And I just think we need to all really remember that, because it's such an easy thing at times to let other things creep in and influence your thoughts.
That's it. That's it. I mean, look, with all the crap that's going on, it shouldn't even, and I'll even say this, it shouldn't stop you enjoying the RTD era if you do enjoy the RTD era. I mean, you know, as I said, it's up to the individual. I just didn't feel comfortable with continuing with the RTD era. But if you enjoy the RTD era, you know, he's got a lot of stories that don't feature certain people, so you could still enjoy it, you know, and you could still enjoy those episodes as well. You know, that what annoyed me was, you know, what actually popped into me head while I was listening to Murray Gold's music. I was actually listening to the music from School Reunion, and it really annoyed me because, you know, the person that's at center of the controversy is actually in this episode, and it's the episode that introduces fans, new fans especially, to Sarah Jane Smith, and that kind of really So I'm kind of in a dilemma there because School Reunion is one of my favorite episodes of all time, and it does reintroduce one of the most beloved characters. Well, two actually, but
Yeah.
one in particular, Sarah Jane Smith, and it was beautifully done. I mean, that moment where she sees the TARDIS and she runs out, and then the Doctor is there. That is just beautiful. I mean, they can't take that away. Charlotte is right. All of this stuff that's going on shouldn't diminish your love for the show. I mean, look, it is bad. Nobody's going to deny that it isn't. But, a lot of people worked on that show that loved working on that show. And we've got to remember that, it wasn't the actions of some people on that production team. It wasn't their fault. They worked really hard on this show. So it still deserves respect, but, right now it's very hard for fans to kind of reconcile with what's going on. It's come with a bit of a shock, but look, we'll move on. We'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks and months with that situation, but we'll move on. Doctor Who will move on. There will be a new production team someday. There will be new writers. Doctor Who can come out of this, even this Chibnall era. It can. It need to go away for a few years, but it can. Look at Doctor Who's come back from the brink before. It can do it again. That's the power of this show. I do think that this show resonates with a lot of people out there. I think it's touched people emotionally. It's helped people. That might sound strange to the other side. It has. It's helped a lot of people get through their daily struggles in life. It means a lot to people. So I'll keep fighting for this show. I'll keep saying the things that I say that are wrong with the era, because with the modern era, because there's a legacy to protect. And as fans, if we're not going to protect it, then who is? And I think we do. We love Doctor Who, and I think we do have a responsibility to make sure that it's treated with respect. For too long, I think we let BBC treat this show with contempt and disrespect, and I think it's about time that they start getting called out on it. It's wrong. It's wrong. This could be the biggest. Listen, this could be the biggest show that they could ever have. They just don't know the potential, or don't realize the potential that they have with this show, and that's always annoyed me. But
I mean, they could. Right, you've got a point there. You've got a point there, Noel. I mean, they could actually make more money out of this. They could make actually good merchandise out of this. They could actually. This show was what it was described by Sidney Newman, was an outstanding winner.
Yeah,
and this show could actually make the BBC tons and tons of money. I mean, they could renew this show. They could renew interest. I mean, they could do away with this current era that is simply just not. It's not supporting the BBC at all. It's not supporting the fans at all. It's doing nothing.
See, here's the thing. This show could make the BBC one of the most powerful organizations out there when it comes to producing entertainment. Look at the rise of HBO, right? With Game of Thrones. I mean, look how big HBO has become. When they showed Game of Thrones, it was on this little known thing called HBO. It wasn't the biggest thing going. And then look at what happened. Game of Thrones became a cultural icon. It became a pop culture sensation. And HBO then obviously became huge. BBC could do the same. Listen, there's loads of things to tap into. As I said, you could do spin-offs, you could have multiverses, you could have, War Doctor Chronicles, you could have Jenny if you wanted to bring her back for the kids. There's so much you could do. But they don't. Right, listen though. We could go on about the Chibnall era, but we don't want to. let's get into this story. Just want to give you our rating. So what we'll do is we'll start with you, Real Super Doctor. If you'd like to give your thoughts on this week's story and give your rating.
I think it was a good story. It does stand very well, but for the animation, it gets a little bit kind of complicated from the actual story itself. It's good how they've elaborated things, and they can do absolutely anything with recreating sets through the imagination, just through the artwork and all that, and elaborating it. But it does detract from the original story, because the original story was more atmospheric and more frightening, because you had situations, you know, that you can't replicate on in the animations. You need real people to kind of get that kind of effect and all that, and interest in the series. And the interesting thing is about the Troughton episodes, they had an atmosphere to them, a scary, creepy atmosphere with the kind of distorted images and like that, like the kind of the footage that was of the 60s and that. And you could see that the atmosphere and the condition of the videos kind of the films kind of added to the interest to the episode and that, and kind of boosted that a wee bit. But because this is an animation, and because they've done really extremely well in trying to kind of actually get the actual lip sync to the characters and all that, just because of the audio footage that they only exist in the audio footage. And it must be really difficult for the people that's never really seen this episode, and they've just basically put it together to the best of their ability to make it acceptable, you know, to people, ordinary people. It's just the non-fans that want to watch this. And I mean, it's accessible to anybody, and anybody can watch it and enjoy it. So I think this episode of the Macra Terra animation, I would just give it a 6 out of 10. But for that, yeah, 6 out of 10.
Fantastic. Sorry, I'm just having technical difficulties here. I'm trying to get everybody's bloody score up. But we'll go with you next, Lee.
Yeah, I agree pretty much. It's a quite a universal story, really, of, you know, oppression, political control. It's very 1984, George Orwell. You've got a bit of They Live. You've got a bit of you know, which came much later, obviously, but Brave New World. So you've got these sort of these aliens controlling everything behind the scenes, and you've got this front, you've got this authoritarian control. Everyone's induced into a state of you know, compliance, and it's a universal story. I think it's something that Doctor Who does quite a lot, and does it very well. At the end of we don't get to see what happens to Ola. You know, the sort of the guy in charge of arresting everybody. He sort of just disappears. Yeah, I think the animation is one of the better examples. Again, you got the sort of pregnant pauses in between movements and things, and the animation doesn't seem to know what to do with that pause, and it's just kind of like, well, you wait for something to happen, and you can hear stuff happening in the audio, but it's not translating onto the screen, which is a bit distracting. Yeah, it does happen. But yeah, I mean, the story itself is a good one. I think it's probably not one of the strongest, and again, we'll never really know to its full extent, because you
do lose a lot of the animation, don't you, Lee? You do. So, like you, as you said, the atmosphere. You know, there's things going on in the background that don't translate well in the animation. So it does. You're right. It would take away.
Yeah, I mean, little things like that. You know, because it's not one thing in isolation. It's like a continuous thing. So you're watching and you're like, well, something else must be happening because I can hear it, but I'm not seeing it. It's a bit weird. But you know, I mean, it's for what it is, for clearly the money they spent on it. It's not bad. I mean, it's not the best, but it's not bad. So I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
That's not bad. That's not
Yeah.
bad.
I think it's a good story. I think the story. I mean, I think it suffers a little bit really from a lack of Troughton taking the lead. You know, it's quite because you got a lot of companions, got a lot of extra characters in there, and Troughton sort of gets sort of shifted into the background, a bit like early William Hartnell. Stuff, you know. Yeah. I mean, I'd like to see him a bit more proactive, and you know, at the end he has to be rescued himself. You know, it's just stuff that you know we don't really see too much of in the latter eras, really.
Yeah. Right. Well, listen, I just see the prior. Oh, sorry, Charlotte, I overlooked you. Sorry, love, I didn't see the private chat, but you said your battery's about to go, so if you want to quickly give your score. Sorry, Lee, I should have feckin' let her go first, but I only see the chat. But I'll come back to you in a second. We'll just let
I finished it. Let Charlotte go.
You sure, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, pal. Charlotte, go ahead. Oh, is she already gone?
Oh, good.
Well, she's still there.
Yeah, she's put her message in the private chat there. Her battery was going low.
Damn. Sorry, Charlotte, but tell you what, if you want to put your score in the chat there, I'll put it up. Sorry, that was totally my fault. I'll let your co-host now berate me and give out to me for not letting you go first, and then he can give his review. Sorry, Daniel, didn't mean to do that. But go ahead, Daniel. Give your review and rating of this story, pal.
It's all right. So, it's all right. Charlotte, I'll get next week. Right, I'm going to give this a 7. I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10 as well, because like I kind of echo these sentiments, because sometimes the audio and the animation don't really mesh well together in some instances, but like it's probably the best that you're going to get an animation, to be honest. And as well, I would like to have seen a bit more of Troughton take the lead as well, because in my opinion, he probably is one of the better incarnations of the Doctor, and it's such a shame that the majority of his era doesn't exist. So yeah, decent attempt for the animation, so it gets a 7 it's a solid 7 out of 10 for me.
See, here's the thing, right? I was here thinking to myself, I'm probably going to give this the highest rating of everybody, but I was going to give it a 7 out of 10 because I have a soft spot for it. But now it seems like I have to give it a higher score because, for the simple fact of the matter, well, you have all gave a 7, and I think this is a lot better than what you guys on the panel think. So it should be only fair that me score kind of reflect that. So I'm going to change it to an 8 out of 10. And just because, as I said, there are a couple of moments in this that I really do like. I do like the scene with Jamie and the Macra. I think that's funny. But I do love that scene in the corridor when they're walking down the corridor with Polly. I think that's just a beautiful moment. It, to me, encapsulates everything that the Doctor is. Sadly, it's not what we're getting right now, but yeah, I just love it. So I'm gonna give I'm gonna go higher. I'm gonna give it an 8.5. 8.5 out of 10. I really have a soft spot for Trouton's Doctor as well. And it is a shame, that we won't see a lot of his stuff. I was reading recently about him and the circumstances of how he died. And it just goes to show you how dedicated this man was to Doctor Who. He was advised by his doctors to stay to take some rest because he was having problems. You see the famous photograph where he's running up and down. Well, he shouldn't have been running because he had heart problems, and he went to have a rest. And obviously, we all know what happened. He took a heart attack. But again, that was another little thing that when I'm reading up about, it just got to show you how dedicated he was. That even when he was sick, he was there doing these conventions. And I think Pertwee was in similar circumstances as well, wasn't he? He was doing stuff connected to Who, and he passed away as well. I have a soft spot for Trouton. I really like his doctor, actually. And when he interacts with the other doctors in some of the stories, he's very good. I love him.
Three Doctors, I love him in the Three Doctors.
And we will have to do the Three Doctors again, because I know we already did it, but I do love that.
You can never get enough of the Three Doctors.
Because I do love the interaction between the three of them. Fantastic. But yeah, look, as I said, we do have the pass. And Charlotte has given it a 7 out of 10. She says, I like the atmosphere here with the fake positivity being used to hide the sinister villain. Jamie and companions do have plenty to do, and I like the whole Ben being the double agent. Thank you for that, Queen Charlotte. I'm sorry I didn't see our message. It won't happen again.
It's your toxic masculinity. That's what it is. You're
the
patriarchy.
Yeah.
Silencing a woman.
Apparently, I was being patronising to someone in the chat earlier on, and I didn't even open my mouth.
Yeah, I kicked them out.
I know you did. I haven't been
having that shit going on in this chat. Sorry, no.
Yeah, exactly. We're here to do Doctor Who classic.
Exactly. Not here to be a political football.
We're not here to talk classic Who. And I know we do go off on a little tangent on this, and we do bring up other stuff, but we do bring it back to Doctor Who. We always do. But listen, this is so you know what's next week. Next week's story obviously features John Pertwee's Doctor. But what I'll do now is, before we head off, and don't forget, as I said, New Who tomorrow. We have the Time of the Angels, and the second part is called Flesh and Stone. Come and join us for that two-parter. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. It's a good two-part story, really is. So come and join us for that. Right, lads, before we do head off, I'll let you have the honours of doing the shout-outs. And if there's any channel out there that you'd like to shout out as well, you're more than welcome to do so. So we'll start with you first, Lee. So who would you like to plug beside yourself this week?
I'm going to plug Captain Cockney Spock.
Oh, Captain Cockney Spock, you know what I mean?
I can't tell people enough, like, to go and check out Captain Cockney Spock. He is uniquely funny. I mean, he's just something else.
Even though he has bad taste in movies, go and check him out. I mean, anybody that likes the new Blade Runner, in my opinion, has bad taste in movies.
I rewatched it. I saw it at the cinema, and I nearly fell asleep. But when I watched it again at home, I don't think it's something that's really great cinematically. It's better than it was.
Right. We sold out. Right. Sold out.
It's nowhere near as good as the original Blade Runner. I mean, it's a totally different type of film.
It's still crap. Just admit it. It's crap.
It's not crap. It was boring when I saw it. It was less boring the second time. I don't know why. It just is. Maybe you You just have to watch it a couple of times.
Right, well, plug yourself, buddy. Plug yourself, because you also got your own channels and social media going on. Let everybody know where they can find you.
You can find me on the Twats at Being Problem, and my alternative channel, which has my stuff that you've seen at the beginning of this stream, which is Audred Audiovisual.
Fantastic, fantastic. And as he said, you can check out all of those trailers that he has made from my channel on that channel, along with other stuff as well. By the way, just to let you know, we were complimented, Lee was complimented on his work. Apparently, according to someone out there, we've got the best title sequence of any YouTube Doctor Who channel. So
Who said that?
Eddie Ascaro. Seriously, he was so impressed. He kept saying, "Oh, I have to go and talk to him and ask him to do something for my channel." Like, he was really impressed. He said he actually did say, if you've watched the stream that I did with him, that's the first thing. As soon as I played the title sequence, that was the first thing he spoke about. He said, as far as he's concerned, it's the best Doctor Who fan channels titles that he is seeing. So that's a compliment and a half, because Eddie likes his Doctor Who, and if he's given that compliment, seriously, that is high praise indeed. I love it. But Lee did put some hard work into these trailers. You could see that. I always try to play as many of them as I can when I'm supposed to come on, even though I'm supposed to only really play one.
You're going to have to do your what's the crack thing eventually, because that's sitting around doing that.
We've been using that. Me and Super Doctor used that for what's the crack, the Titanic stream. That's what we're going to do when we want to talk about different stuff now. What's the crack? So crack in time, sorry. So that's what we've used that. So we use that trailer. So I'm going to be using that a lot more now when we're doing other stuff that isn't Doctor Who on this channel as well, because there is other stuff. Like, I think the Irish Geek now is going to become primarily more of a gaming channel. I'm just waiting on Sharon to make up her mind whether she's coming back onto YouTube. Well, I can't blame her right now with all the shit that's going on. So I just have to wait until she's ready to come back. Right. Who am I forgetting? Oh, yeah, I'm forgetting the one and only Scottish Davros and Real Super Doctor. So we'll go with Real Super Doctor. Who would you like to plug this week?
You can plug Daniel's channel, Scottish Davros, and he's doing quite a lot of stuff with Charlotte. Right. I've never had a chance to kind of look at his streams now, because I've been that busy doing other things at the moment. But if I get a chance, I'll just pop in.
Fantastic. Okay, and we'll say good night, because we don't need Daniel to plug his channel, because John's already done it for him. I'm only messing. Go ahead, Daniel. Who would you like to plug? And your own stuff as well, mate.
I would like to plug obviously is Super John, PG and me as well, because I'll be on his channel tomorrow night, and I got your name wrong. It's the real Super Pop to the go by your old name. Sorry about that. I'm on PG Maybe's channel tomorrow night to discuss the second series of OT. I was, because I did the first series last Sunday, and as well PG was tossed my channel in as well, and on my channel at the minute we are discussing series discussing the first series and the first series we're on the second episode, and myself and Charlotte will be discussing watching this second episode of the and I'm actually enjoying the series. I think I think it's a great show. So far the episodes I've seen, but also as well subscribe to the top on as well, and also you can also and you can also on me itself Daniel and to you on Twitter as well if your fans. Yeah, over to yourself. Oh,
Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate that. Thanks everybody for the shout outs. I really do appreciate that. But again, I will obviously tell you who I think you should support, and I do think you should support Daniel's channel. I think you should support Lee, Real Super Doctor as well. Also, I want to give a very special mention to Alpha Omega. Right now, he's not with us at the moment because he's working, but he did do a test on his YouTube channel. So he's gotten his set up, he's getting it all ready to go, and he hopes to do a couple of videos on his channel. So please check out Alpha Omega's channel. You know, when people set up, we like to give them as much support as possible. And as Alpha has been very supportive of all of us here on this channel, it's only right that we show that support, because he's been one of my most loyal viewers, just like Daniel has been. I mean, they even turn me onto the Irish Geek, for God's sake, when I'm playing FIFA. Just to show you how loyal they are. But I really do thank them for joining me, and all the trolls. Thank you as well for adding to the views to those videos, by the way. That's the best thing about it, because even if you pop in for a second, it counts as a view. So thanks, you're actually boosting the channel. So keep it up, folks, keep it up. But who else do I want to plug? There's a few. PJ maybe, and I do like Cockney Spock's channel as well. Cockney does put a smile on my face himself. Lee and PD Rich do such a great streams on that, and Daniel now is getting involved as well.
yeah.
Brilliant. I'll wait for me invite though, Cockney. You know, no problem. You probably got lost in the post somewhere there, but you know, like I still hope. You know, you probably don't like me because you're English, but the feeling's mutual.
Well, no, he's a Cockney, but he's also a Polish.
He's a
Yeah, he's actually
Pole.
Oh, right.
Amongst other
then that
mongrel
explains everything, because Polish people hate Irish people. Brilliant.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Oh, great. I'm only messing. By the way, I'm only taking the piss. Everybody knows that. But no, seriously, if you want a smile, if you want someone to put a smile on your face, it's definitely a channel worth checking out.
Oh, and I would also say as well, you know, with all the crazy shit that's been going on in Israel, Rabbi from Another Planet, Zvi Lebetkin, did a fantastic takedown of that John Oliver nonsense, which was so one-sided and venal. It was just awful, and he absolutely trounces that disgusting shill nonsense. So if you actually want to know what the fuck is actually going on, go there and watch that video. It's enlightening as much as it is hilarious.
Yeah, I haven't said that on the issue at all. For the simple fact is, it's I don't know all the ins and outs, and I think it would be wrong of me to come out and give an opinion.
Well, no, I'm not asking anyone to take a partisan side. I'm just saying.
But I will say this though.
Let me just say quickly that in the mainstream media, particularly on Twitter, especially, it's very one-sided.
I know, I've seen that. But what I would say is what basically everybody's been saying out there, We hope for peace and reconciliation. Nobody, nobody. It doesn't matter what side of the argument you're on. There's innocent people dying, and that's never a good thing. And isn't it funny? We've been in a pandemic, and as soon as restrictions start to ease, things like this start up. It's look, it's already
4 years of quiet in
I know, and then
Israel.
all of a sudden, listen,
Boom.
I said this. Look, I said when Biden gets in, all shit is going to break loose, right? I wasn't deluded. I'm right. I stand by what I said, right? It's not as bad under him as I thought it would be, but he's still doing a
Yet.
lot of things that are fucking making me sit up and say, "Oh, hang on a minute, you've lost the plot here, mate." But look, all I want, I've said it on this channel. I'm not going to get involved, but what I will say is that because I don't know the ins and outs of the whole situation, so I'm not going to make a comment. And I think that people that are making comments out there, I will agree with Lee. If you don't know the whole situation and the ins and outs of it, you have zero fuck opinion on it. You keep your mouth closed and you say nothing about it, right? It's nothing to do with you. You don't know the ins and outs of it. You shouldn't be fucking talking about it because that's dangerous. Let the people that are involved in this educate us, right?
And meanwhile, I will say as well. Meanwhile, complete silence from these raging anti-Semites about what's going on in Kurdistan from the Turks. Nothing.
Garrett Roberts actually put up a tweet today exactly saying that. He says, "Where are all of these activists now? Where are you all now? Exactly. These are hypocrites. Shut the fuck up. Nobody will listen to you anymore." But anyway, I'll say it again. I hope there's a peaceful resolution. I hope we can. We need to come together now as a world. 2021, we still shouldn't be having these kind of conflicts. It's wrong. Children deserve to live a life of love and peace. And I'm sick of it all. I mean, I won't even say anything about because it's just it's just history repeating itself over and over again. How many wars? How many people have to die before people cop onto themselves that this is not the way we should be acting? Hopefully, we get to a place in society and civilization where we will get to that point. And we can only hope and pray. And to everybody in Israel that we know, friends like Rabbi, stay safe, look after yourself, and we're all hoping and praying for peace because I think that's what people want anyway. They want peace. So let's make it happen. I'm gonna say no more now. Right, but listen, go and check out all those wonderful people at our channels: Daniel, Lee, Real Super Doctor, Alpha Omega, PJ Maybe, Cockney Spock, Ball Streck, and as I said, Rabbi. And as I said, big happy birthday to the trigger train. There it is. Happy birthday, Paul.
Happy birthday to Paul.
We will see you next week, as we said, for some Classic Who. We will be back hopefully to a normal schedule again. Wednesday, I'm going to do something different on a Wednesday. I haven't quite figured it out, but I will be doing something. So I will be streaming Wednesday. I'll figure it out as we get closer to Wednesday. But yeah, so we'll be back to a normal schedule anyway. So ClassicWhoZone talks back on Friday. We'll see what people want to talk about. What I'll do is I'll just leave it to you guys. You just come on and you can talk about whatever you want to talk about. Then on Saturday, then we have ClassicWhoZone, and then on Sunday, New WhoZone. So come and join us for all of that. I'm going to say good night. Look after yourselves. Everybody stay safe. I want to thank you tonight for joining me and everybody else in the chat. So we will talk to you tomorrow. Good night, folks. Have a good one.
Good night.
Good night. And Cockney
Good
Spock
night.
is starting now.
Yeah, so I'll go over to him anyway and give him a watch and tell him that I said Blade Runner 20 whatever it is a load of bollocks. Right, I'll probably be banned from his channel permanently. I loved it though, because one week I came on and I was talking about how bored in Blade Runner and crap it was, and he actually muted me a couple of times in the chat, so I couldn't say anything. Well, I'm still not going to change my mind, right? It's still a shit movie, mate. Right, go over and watch him. Go on, you will have a laugh. We will talk to you soon on this channel, tomorrow, in fact. But as I said, take care of yourselves. And I want to thank you all still. I know the schedule's been all over the place this last month, but you have all stuck by this channel and stuck by me. And that means a lot. It really does. And don't worry, we'll have a lot more content coming on the Tartar Zone, and we'll make up for those few weeks that I haven't been on top of it. But I know you all understand anyway. But you know me, I'd rather be streaming. But Ted obviously took top priority, and now he's acting like he's shit now. So he's back to normal again. So I'll be able to. Here's the good thing now. You will hear Teddy barking more frequently during the streams now, because while he was sick, he wasn't barking at all. Now you're going to hear him. So watch, you will be given out to me in a few weeks' time. Say, can Ted not shut up? You will have these our videos as well, Ted. Right, I'm off. Here's the channel trailer. Good night. Talk to you soon. Look after yourselves. Get over the Cockney Spock right now, or I'll never talk to you again. I'm only messing up. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.